transforming teaching practice. Alright, so first here, as you can see in these pictures, there are students, maybe they are hungry or ill-prepared. So in this case, we as teachers, we have to be self-reflective. We have to ask them why they are like that. And we have to always ask ourselves how our class is being developed. In that way, if we develop self-awareness, self-inquiry, and self-reflection, we are going to get to a level when we are going to be able to create personal solutions to those common problems. Now, we are going to see two aspects. So first, you can see here critical reflection. That means that we have to analyze moral and ethical aspects that we can experience in the classroom, and we also have to develop a self-reflection. That means that we have to examine values, beliefs, and the expectations that we have for our students. Now here, as you can see, there are some advices. So first, we have to reflect only after recognizing a problem. You cannot reflect if you don't know something or a basis about the problem. So now second, we have to evaluate our beliefs, assumptions, and hypotheses, and that evaluation has to be continual. And it's also recommended that we as teachers challenge assumptions and question the existing practices or data. As you can see here, this teacher is kind of questioning himself about maybe what he can do better or how he can make classes better. So now we are going to move into personal awareness. This is basically being reflective, reflect about how the class was today or how the students were performing. In that way, we are going to get to a discovery process. Now here we have other recommendations. For example, we have to make time for solitary reflection. Then we are going to become perpetual problem solvers. And after that, we are going to be questioning the status quo. So the benefit of this stage would be that it opens the possibility of reflection for us teachers. And then the benefits of these two stages, the second and the third one, is that we can develop a teaching practice that accepts uncertainty. Now here we have some advices. So for examples, here it's important that we as teachers, we have to reflect as a daily practice. It has to be every day. Now we also have to reflect upon feelings of frustration, insecurity, and rejection. And we are also human beings, so we have to accept that those feelings could be natural in the change process. And last, here we can see that they recommend journal writing because they are useful to solve problems, identify relationships, etc. Now here we also have to remind that we teachers, we should be in charge of solving problems, not keep trying the old ways of keep trying preset standards of operation. Instead of that, we have to try new practices, new procedures. As you can see here on this rectangle, a practice or procedure should never be permanent. So we have to be over time, always keep trying new things. Now here we are going to see another cycle. So we as teachers, we also have to synthesize experiences. We have to integrate information and feedback. We have to uncover underlying reasons. And after all of that, we are going to discover new meaning or new ways of developing our practice. And of course, all of these aspects are going to lead to become a perpetual problem solver. So for example, in this rectangle, let's imagine that I'm in the classroom and I'm giving a class and my students are kind of bored. For example, what am I'm just giving information without pictures, so just text. That could be a preset standard, so if I want to try to give a better class, I should include images, sounds, songs, In that way, I'm going to try a new practice or procedure. Alright, so we also have to look for our own truth. We have to learn from the experiences that we have in our classrooms. And we also have to challenge currently held beliefs, but we have to be careful because first, before that, we have to consider school priorities. And we also have to take tasks to demonstrate school loyalty and commitment. And by mixing all of these aspects, we are going to be questioning the status quo. Now, here we are going to talk about some aspects that we can develop by means of self-reflection. So we can gain knowledge about teacher responses to students and vice versa. We can become aware of how we are interactive participants. So we teachers are not just people standing there, but we are immersed in the teaching and learning process. We can also learn to slow down our thinking and reasoning process, and we can also bring to practice some unconscious ways of responding to students. Now here the last aspect would be that we can create another position to analyze a situation. So here, as you can see in this picture, there are two people, and one of them is saying 6, and the other person says 9. So I put this picture because, for example, let's imagine 6 is the teacher and 9 is the student. So both of them could be right. So we also have to put into our students' shoes because they also have their reasons to be right. Now we are going to talk about a core belief, and if you wonder what it is, a core belief is a fundamental belief about human nature, development, or learning. And these are things that have to be connected, and for that, here we have some levels to examine the congruence between core beliefs and job performance. So, for example, on the first level, we have philosophical. In this level, and we can see our values, the religious beliefs, ethics, etc. On the second level, that is framework, we have theories of motivation and learning or organizational development theories. On the third level, we have to link our beliefs and theories with our behavior in the classroom. And last but not least, we have the decision making level. In this level, that is basically moment by moment decision making. So now we are going to talk about critical reflection and is an irregular process because, for example, if I want to try something new in my classroom, I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I have to try it and then see what the outcomes are. So often that is described like 2 steps forward and 1 step backward because maybe we get some benefits and maybe we discover one disadvantage. So that could lead to feelings of confusion and anxiety, of course, for a time, but these feelings at some time are going to lead us, teachers, to a personal, deeper understanding. So these are not bad feelings at all. They are just bad for a time, but then we are going to see the good things. And after this, we are going to discover new ways of thinking and perceiving. Alright, now we are going to check some stages. These stages are about the critical reflection process. So first, we have to examine. That means that we have to question everything around us. We have to question our practices, what we make in the classroom, our beliefs, the theories. We have to challenge also, and we also need a desire for change. Now, on the next level, that is the struggle stage. Here we can see the inner conflict that is also called fear, surrender, uncertainty, and chaos. For example, yes, this is something normal, fear. When we teachers are going to try new things in the classroom, we experience these feelings. But at some point, that becomes normal after we try and see that it's good for the classroom. And on the last level, we have reconciling personal discovery after we notice that something is good in our practice and new practice. And by mixing all of these stages, characteristics, and whatever you want to call them, we are going to discover a transformation.